What the ash refused to bury. Fragment 002, recovered from the lower ridge of Emberfall Crossing. Classification: suppressed. The ash would not settle. It fell in sheets, thick enough to blind, yet the ground beneath me stayed exposed. Something below the surface was breathing it away. I should have turned back. The ridge had been marked abandoned. No fires, no carrion. The wind broke apart before it reached the valley, as if the valley had asked it to. I was sent to confirm what others refused to say aloud. There was nothing to confirm. There was nothing left. Still, I walked. Each step sank into blackened soil that gave too easily, the kind of give that means something beneath has not finished settling. My boots pressed down, then rose. The prints did not hold. They filled themselves in, not with ash, but with something darker, something patient. Blood does not behave this way. I knelt. The stain was fresh. It should not have been. I pressed 2 fingers to it, expecting warmth, resistance, anything that still belonged to the living or the recently dead. It parted like water. When I lifted my hand, it drew itself closed. Not blood. Not anymore. Behind me, something shifted. I turned. Nothing. The ridge I had descended, empty, quiet beneath the falling ash. No figures, no movement. Only the slope and the silence the wind refused to enter, and my footprints leading upward. I had not climbed. I had not moved. But there they were, pressed into the blackened soil in perfect succession, spaced the way a man spaces his steps when he has decided to leave. I followed them with my eyes. They ended where the ground broke open. The fracture was not wide. It did not need to be. The ash bent around it as it fell, drifting away from the opening the way smoke avoids a wound. Weapons driven into the stone, not scattered, not dropped in retreat. Driven, deliberate. A blade buried to the hilt. The steel blackened, humming low enough that I did not hear it so much as feel it in the bones of my reaching hand. I did not touch it. Beyond the blade, the others. Spears, axes, shards of steel forced into the ground as if someone had tried to pin the ground in place, and the ground had not agreed. Beneath them, movement, not flesh, not shadow, something like a memory trying to stand. I stepped back. The ash stopped, not slowly, not gradually. It ceased. The air held what it held. I listened. A sound came, faint and broken, the way a voice sounds when the water between you and it is very deep. It spoke once, then again. The words were wrong. The end is watching. No, that was not it. That was not the phrase. What I heard wore the phrase the way a wound wears a face. I took another step back. The fracture widened. Something rose from it. Not fully, not completely. Only the outline of a figure repeating the motion of standing, again and again, each repetition arriving at the same point and failing there. I knew that shape. I should not have. He had no outline when he was alive. He fell before I fled. I watched him die. I made the choice to leave him, and I left him. The ash returned, not falling, climbing. It crawled up the weapons, up the ridge walls, up my boots, not settling, pulling. It was trying to cover something that refused to stay covered. I am writing this from the edge of the ridge. I have not moved. I have not left. The ground behind me says otherwise. The footprints lead away. They are mine. I do not remember making them. If this record is found, do not follow the path down. Do not trust the shape of what has already happened. It is not finished. The sequence has not closed. The ash is rising again. I think it is following me.